Hey, what's up guys? It's Maji here. In this video I want to talk a little bit about the evolution of combat and some of my views on it. I know the background clip playing at the moment is of me at the Artisan's Workshop, but at the time of recording this that's what I was doing, so you'll just have to deal with that. So it's kind of a video you can more or less listen to if you want to, unless you want to watch too. I mean, it's kind of boring AFK smithing, but hey, whatever you want. But anyways, so what do I think about the evolution of combat? Well, before its release, I was really looking forward to it, as I'm sure a lot of people were, and it's still I'm actually looking forward to it. I mean, I played it. I haven't played it as much as some people have, but I don't know. I guess I'm a little bit more open-minded than most of the community when it comes to stuff like this. I mean, I've already got 99 in all the combat stats and Slayer, so it won't really affect me there. About the only way that the evolution of combat will affect me is in regards to dungeoneering and, of course, any other combat minigames or anything they happen to release in the future, as well as, of course, the little, PvP minigames like Castle Wars, Fistigathic, stuff like that, Soul Wars, and, of course, let's see. Yeah, fight case, fight kill, and stuff like that. Um, hmm. I hope to have those done before before the actual release to the live game, but yeah, that's another story for another time. Really, all I've got to say about the combat beta is, I mean, I've heard people say the combat beta sucks. Well, that's pretty much the point. Um, it's kind of like I summed it up to somebody else. It's, well, before every great game that's ever been created, there's always the programmer that actually had to create the Hello World application, which is really simple application that really just says Hello World. It's, you can probably wiki it. I think it's probably got a wiki page or something for it. But, yeah, that's kind of a little bit beside the point as well. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is, of course, the beta sucks. It's got to be tweaked, and honestly, I was rather impressed with the way that they had worked out the combat triangle in the beta for the very first opening day when I first got to use it. The fact that it worked extremely well. Now, sure, melee is still a bit overpowered in regards to the fact that it has, like, abilities for attack, strength, and defense, and not so much in the way of range and mage. So there definitely needs to be more range and magic abilities there. And magic is probably a little bit overpowered too, but it's been a while since I've actually used that, so I can't really comment on that. But I feel that pretty much a lot of people kind of, I don't know, they kind of fear change and they don't really want things to change. I've always heard of people saying in game that they won't be able to AFK like they did before, which is entirely not true. You can still AFK. Sure, as of right now, they probably have lower experience rates, kind of somewhat penalizing you, but I've read they posted somewhere on the forums that they're going to tweak that, so you can still probably gain the same amount of experience. You're currently gaining training the exact same way, but you're actually rewarded for using the abilities. And of course, a lot of people, like, this kind of goes back to the fact about people, I don't know, kind of hating change or whatever. But when you think about it, this is actually a really big change because they're having to change everything from animations to the way pretty much everything works in the game. All the NPCs, their stats have to be adjusted to the new combat system. All the armor, weapons, everything. Ammunition, runes. So much stuff goes into this, so there's obviously going to be mistakes. And I didn't expect it to be a finished product when it first came out. That's the idea of it being a beta and not an actual live release. But the people that say that they're going to quit over the EOC is kind of amusing to me, honestly, because people threaten to quit all the time, but when it's actually released, more than likely you're not going to quit. But anyway, even if you do, eventually you might come back to it. Just, yeah, you just got to be a little bit open-minded and actually take time to learn the new system. At first, trust me, it is completely overwhelming. Like the first few hours that I was on the beta day of release, I was so confused on what to do. But in regards to skilling, being able to add things to the action bar and drop them by just one click, or cleaning herbs just by one click, that's rather impressive. It'll speed things up quite a lot, honestly. So that's a good thing to look forward to. Plus the combat abilities and the fact that you can customize the action bar to do anything you want to, pretty much. Not quite everything, because that would be a little bit unfair and make the game way too easy, but yeah. And I will admit, it's definitely going to take you a lot of time to get used to it. I mean, I'm still not fully used to it, and I've played on it pretty much every weekend at least for a few hours. Or I've tried to. Even during the week sometimes too, but it's, I don't know. But will I be quitting over the evolution of combat? Of course not. I mean, it's a game that gets updated every week. I mean, if they quit updating the game, eventually people would get bored of it and they would leave. I know people are threatening to leave with the evolution of combat's release, but honestly, it's a huge update and it's going to completely change the face of the game. That much is obvious. But honestly, though, it's still RuneScape. All the same things are still going to apply. You'll still be able to do everything just as you do now. You'll just have better options to speed up things. And of course, it's a little bit more complicated and it's going to be, a lot to take in, but, I don't know. It's really not all that bad. But, yeah, I think I've pretty much covered everything that I wanted to talk about in regards to my thoughts on the evolution of combat. Just whenever it actually does get released to the live game, have an open mind about it and just try to master bits and pieces of it at a time, because if you try to take in the whole thing, it's quite overwhelming. But anyways, you can post in the comments what you think of the evolution of combat beta and all this good stuff, and leave the video a like if you like the video. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and of course check out any of the other 2 videos on the screen for you if you wish. And I thank you for listening to this random late night 3:30 in the morning rant. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later on for another video.